An update on Miss Poirier. Miss Poirier, I hope you enjoy this video because I found out a lot of interesting facts about everything. But the funny thing is that's not her homestead. If she doesn't live in Clearwater, how does she hold that seat?
No, but I would just like to make a comment about, just to correct the record for the council and for our residents and regarding my employment contract. So I am in compliance with my employment contract. I do reside in Clearwater by definition. That is explained in the contract. I understand that for some members of the public that try to look for that, because my address and my family's address is protected, that information is not easily available. But we do have it in writing from the property appraiser's office that I have complied, and that information is in both the legal department and in the HR department.
And you just heard her, right? You heard her. I am in compliance with her contract. And
what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the show. So, I was watching a video the other day. It was a video by the armed fisherman. And I'm watching this video and I'm thinking to myself, what is this that he's talking about? What is this stuff that he's talking about? So I did a little search. Is everybody aware what's going on with the armed fisherman right now? Everybody know what's going on? It looks like there's some more kangaroo bullshit going on. So I saw that in the video and I said, oh, well, what's this stuff? Need to go find out what's going on here. Why isn't he talking about it? Right? So we got this armed fisherman. We've got stalking and a public records request, or public records violation. Hold on, I gotta take a call.
mind you, under the contract, their charter, not their contract, but their charter, they have to be a resident of Clearwater. Period. That's it. And so now we're going to go through A, B, and C of Miss Poirier's friggin' contract, because I called the property appraiser, and I'm going to talk about that at the end of this video, where I'm going to tell you what the property appraiser told me. So let's get into,
Alright, sorry about that. So, let's get rid of this. I just closed it. Sorry about that. What the heck? We got amateur hour going on here. So, anyway, I saw that header behind his head, and I thought, well, what the hell's going on, and why isn't he talking about this? So I looked at it, and it says stalking and a public records violation. Okay, well, that's interesting. I didn't realize the public could even be charged with violating the Public Records Law, Chapter 119. So a law that doesn't even apply to the people. The kangaroos out in Pinellas County, Clearwater specifically. they want to use the law as a weapon to silence their critics. So, what's going on is apparently, I don't know how much of it, if anybody knows the facts, please let me know, because I don't know if Soliaker isn't allowed to talk about this, or if he just isn't talking about it because his lawyers have asked him not to talk about it. But we still need to talk about it because it's ridiculous. So the stalking is against this public official. This, what's her name? There it is. Jennifer.Poirrier. And I guess the issue is that, you know, he's got criticism for the government, right? He's got criticism for Miss Poirier about her homesteading, about her not living in Clearwater, about we'll just say some alleged lawlessness on behalf of the Poiriers, or at least Jennifer. So what does Clearwater do? Well, Clearwater does what all tyrant cities do, right? They attack you. So they hit him up with a stalking charge, misdemeanor stalking in the first degree, and a public records violation. Okay, so I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to assume that all of the stalking took place at public buildings where Miss Poirier either works or was going to the Clearwater City Council meeting or City Commission meeting, whatever the hell they call it. And I believe that's where he was actually arrested on these charges, was at the City Council meeting. So he's never, to my knowledge, please correct me if I'm wrong, whoever happens to know, but he's never had any interaction with this woman out in public other than at the City Council meeting. He's never gone to her house. He's not going to her place of worship. Not going to the education place, not going to daycare. Right? We know Solo. We know Soliaker. Does it seem like, have we ever known him to be a stalker? These people are into their feelings, and that's what it is, right? They're into their feelings. And now Solo can't go to the meetings, right? Because I'm assuming he well, not assuming, listen to this, conditions of release on GPS monitoring. Dude's on GPS monitoring for criticizing a public official, and I guess for abusing the public records process. When do we get to start charging these sovereign citizens with violating the public records law? I've never ever seen anybody get charged with a violation of Chapter 119. And the one time I do see it, it's against the person that is lawfully using it in order to uncover lawlessness within inside the government. And what is the response from the government? Well, it's lawfare. Let's weaponize the law. Let's weaponize the legal process to get a man to stop speaking. Right? I haven't heard him talk about Clearwater in, I don't know if it's been since then, but Here, let's go back and look. He's got a Clearwater playlist.
That person they have replayed.
So, Clearwater playlist, it's got 75 videos. And there you go. It's for everybody a little later. Alright, so let's see, where's the most recent? 4 months ago. Alright. So we've seen Solo in Clearwater. We've seen John Felix. We've seen Warren Sapp. We've seen a whole host of people in Clearwater. Mr. Is it Beluva? I can't remember his name. But these are these are just Americans coming in to exercise their constitutionally protected rights. And does the Clearwater Police Department, do they protect constitutionally protected rights? No. No. Protecting constitutional rights is not something that the city of Clearwater thinks is in their purview. So we've got these charges. He's on GPS monitoring. He can't have contact with Miss Poirier. Looks like we've got some motions. Motion to withdrawal. Motion to hearing. Motion to remove the monitor. So this was filed. I don't know, like 2 weeks ago. Coming up on 2 weeks ago. Defendant was arrested on July 20th. July 10th, sorry. Allegations of stalking. The alleged victim in this case works for the city of Clearwater as a public official. The defendant is a Port St. Lucie, Florida, and does not have a criminal conviction to the best of the undersigned counsel's knowledge. He lives on the other side of the state, roughly 180 miles and over 3 hours away by car. They're going to make... Clearwater is... These people are warped. Okay, so the conduct in this matter is arguably protected by the First Amendment. The state has not filed an information in this case despite Mr. Taylor's arrest 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago. Alright, so... I guess I'm confused. If there's no information, has he been charged? I mean, he's been charged, right? He's on GPS monitoring. Surety bond, complaint. Let's read the complaint. We'll read the complaint and then we'll read the motion to... what was it? One at a time, I guess. No. And the motion to remove GPS monitoring. Alright, I don't want to put that. I'm not going to put that up there because it's got all of his personal information in there. If you guys want to see the actual complaint, then Pinellas County, criminal, you can search them up. So I'm not going to go through that because I'd have to redact all his personal information. I'm not really in a position to do that right now. So The state has not filed information in this case despite Mr. Taylor's arrest 6 weeks ago. Mr. Taylor is subject to GPS monitoring in addition to no contact orders barring him from 1,000 feet of the alleged victim's residence and place of employment. The GPS monitoring has placed a significant financial burden on Mr. Taylor and is not necessary to protect the alleged victim in this case, as the only place Mr. Taylor ever encountered the victim in person was in and around city council chambers in Clearwater, Florida. Okay, Miss Poirier, let me get her email. I gotta send this cunt some emails. This dirty cunt thinks that she can just do whatever the fuck. So, that's fucked up. There's her email. Please send her an email. She's dirty as fuck. So, he's only ever seen this person at a public meeting open to the public where he was allowed to be. Now he's not allowed there. There have been no pre-deprivation, post-deprivation. Nobody cares about his rights. We're just gonna get him away from Clearwater. We need to have this guy stop coming to Clearwater, stop talking about the lawlessness in Clearwater. And how do we do that? Well, we'll throw some crimes at him. We'll just throw some crimes. Mr. Taylor has no history of a failure to appear and has already posted a $10,000 bond to secure his release from custody. $10,000 bond, but no charges have been filed yet. There's just some ticket. Wow, this stuff will get your blood boiling. Holy smokes. Alright, so motion to withdraw, motion to remove. Let's see. No contact. Okay, so there it is. She is the person we're talking about. And here, let me just make sure that I'm right. I don't want to be leading. You spell it? P-O-I. Alright, so I'm on the Googler, as everybody can see. And here we go. That looks pretty public. Well, there she is. There's your rights-hating city manager. Alright, well, I'm sorry, I just got right into it. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. This is crazy. This is just crazy to me. So, you know, she's got some videos, right? She doesn't like that. And the best way to, I guess, solve that problem is with criminal charges.
When you get it...
I wonder if I can expect some criminal charges soon, too. Having not even gone to Clearwater, I wonder if you could just need to mention her name and then you get some charges. But this is what it really is. She is triggered because he uncovered what appears to be some is the word fraud Is that what it's called? I think that's what he's uncovering here, where they've got 3 properties in the Clearwater area, or 3 properties in the Pinellas County area. She has to live in the city of Clearwater, and somehow all of her properties are homesteaded. You're only allowed 1 homestead exemption in the state of Florida. But if you can manage to get 2, that's an extra $25,000. And if you can manage to get 3, that's another $25,000. So it's basically a rebate on your taxes, 3 total, of $75,000. A $75,000 decrease in your tax burden by homesteading your property. So he uncovers this, that apparently there's several properties that are homesteaded by Miss Poirier, but she's a public official, so that's all good. It's good. We're just going to throw some stalking and abuse of the, what was it? What was it? Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is. So, public records violation. Let's take a look at this. Let's see. Don't forget to send her some emails, guys. All right. 4. All right. Okay, so agency administration. Am I missing something here? Someone for Okay, so here we go. General exemptions from inspection or copying of public records. You guys seeing this? Yeah, let me get it out of the way here. Are you guys seeing this? Okay, so you can't make this shit up. For purposes of this paragraph, the term home address means a dwelling location in which the individual resides, includes the physical address, mailing address, blah, 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 telephone numbers, home address. Okay, so what they're saying is, what, 714, all right, 714. So they're saying that the thing that they're responsible, these are the exemptions. These are exemptions from the public records. So if you request a public record and one of these things happens to be within the public record, the state agency has the ability to redact that information. They actually have the obligation to redact that information. And I don't know. I don't know if they failed to redact it and he published it. But either way, it's public record. These people have lost their freaking minds. acting like they can apply this law to anybody other than public officials. Wow. So he's being charged with a crime that you literally can't. You literally, you can't break it. We can't break this law. It's not possible for us to break it. Apparently, we can still get charged for it, but it's not possible for us to break this law. It is a standard that is not. This is almost like. This is this is almost ridiculous as saying that, okay, we're gonna charge Mr. Soliaker with the crime of violating HIPAA. You know, if he got some HIPAA protected information or something. So what's going on, Gio? What's going on, chat? Sorry, I said hi for a second there, and then I got sucked right back in. They pulled me back in. Hold on. All right, sorry. Yeah, Jesus of the apes. Yes, that's exactly it. They know that this is bullshit and that this isn't going to stick because it can't stick. You literally can't be charged with this. How can unless you're hacking into even then I don't understand how you could be charged with breaking this this statute here. But the stalking one is that's more disturbing. So let's take a look at this one. Never seen this person outside of the city council meeting. Okay? Was there a subsection? You guys know? 2. Subsection 2. A person, all right, stalking definition and penalties. 2. A person who willfully, maliciously, and repeatedly follows, harasses, or cyberstalks another person commits the offense of stalking. A misdemeanor of the first degree punishable as provided in blah, blah, blah. Repeatedly follows. So I guess they check that box. Repeatedly follows, right? He's been to more than one city council meeting. So I guess you can't go to more than one city council meeting. All right. Let's see what else. Willfully, maliciously, and repeatedly. Maliciously. That's a tough one. Who willfully, maliciously, and repeatedly follows, harasses, or cyberstalks. All right, so I don't think that he repeatedly followed her. Right? Is the harassment the actual 2 minutes or 3 minutes of time where he's allowed to, where the plebeian is allowed to speak? So maybe that's the harassment. And then the cyber stalking. This is Shannon Walker all over again. Miss Poirier is being cyber stalked by the videos that call out her lawlessness. So she does this, and then I guess doesn't expect people to talk about it. Expects people to be hush hush about it. These people are so sick. It's disgusting. So I don't know what's the punishment for this. A person who after, all right, that'd be after. $5 years in prison. No, that's aggravated. This wasn't aggravated, was it? No. One year and $1,000 fine. Here, let's see. We're gonna put it in here. Chapter 119, Florida statutes, penalties. Okay. Penalties under the Florida Public Records Act depend on the violation, ranging from a non-criminal infraction for a public officer. For a public officer. With a fine of up to $500 for general violations to a first-degree misdemeanor for willful and knowing violations. So people should be getting charged with this crime daily. Every single day, the people in government should be charged with violating this law. It's constantly violated. But nobody's ever held to account for it. Except for Mr. Soliaker, who maybe somebody else has been charged with it. I wanna know more about it. But he's literally being charged with a crime that only a public officer can be charged with. Cool story, Clearwater. So we've got Pinellas County. I don't know who this person is. Judicial officer. I wonder if that's just like, is that his judge or something? Oh. I'm not real sure. Maybe if somebody wants to just give her an email, ask her what she does. So yeah. What do you guys think about this? I wondered why he had been quiet over there in Clearwater. He had usually been so active. I'm with you, IONU News. Exactly, Jerry. The fact that John Felix hasn't been charged, is it because John didn't? It must have been because John didn't make a specific issue with the city manager, right? I think that's the real thing. Solo got under the delicate feelings of the city manager, and she's like, oh, well, you know, how do we do things over here in Clearwater? Oh, well, we just toss innocent people in cages over here because we don't like the words that they use.
And to B, the parties further agree that the employee's residency requirement described in Section 2A of the agreement and Section 3.01 of the city charter cannot be satisfied while the employee actively claims homestead outside the city. And letter C, the parties recognize that the employee's spouse, Adam Poirier, is a deputy chief or deputy fire chief of St. Pete Beach, is not a party to this agreement, nor is the employee's spouse required by Florida law or the city charter to relocate to the city. Well, that's a farce, because guess what? That's what the city charter says, and Adam Poirier doesn't have some kind of special agreement or a special thing that for him that he must live in St. Pete. You know,
I think this is what it's all about. I could be wrong, but I think he uncovered this. It's a huge fucking deal. Allegedly defrauding the people of the state of Florida is a big fucking deal. And she got caught. She got busted. Hand in the fucking cookie jar. He busted her, and what does she do? Oh, let's throw him in a cage.
so for that reason, the employee's spouse may continue claiming homestead at the resident dwelling located outside the city, and including after April 4th. Now, I'm hoping you're paying attention to this. I'm really hoping you're paying attention. That is what the charter says. And because Mr. Margolis decided, he was like, oh, I got to do something about this, and I rewrote it. And if you don't believe me, I'll let him say it.
Now, sure, we could have just glossed over that. That would have been the easy thing to do.
I'm soliciting opinions here, guys. This is a 0 to 10 scale. 0 to 10 scale. 0 being not slimy at all. 10 being the slimiest of slimy motherfuckers that you can get slime on. Which one is this guy?
That would have been the opaque thing to do. I could have written this contract in a way that was silent, made no acknowledgement or recognition. That, I believe, would have been a disservice to everyone in this city, including the city manager. So instead of doing that, we set the expectations very clearly as to how she could establish residency, specifying that she would even have to go so far as to affirmatively notify the property appraiser that she was no longer living with her husband at the home they jointly own as a marital estate outside the city of Clearwater, but elsewhere in Pinellas County. So these protections in here in this contract are designed to uphold the public trust, to provide transparency as to the process.
Solo must be on GPS monitoring to ensure the public trust.
To give certainty as to how we establish someone's residency, and to avoid any confused expectations either from the manager with whom the contract was negotiated, the council with whom the manager and I serve, and the general public. I just don't understand where people are coming from here, because I find nothing wrong with what was done. And as far as I know, the city manager is in full compliance with the contract. I have zero concerns. I regret only the fact that I've had to take the last 7 minutes of my life explaining this.
Now, I want to make it very clear, with all that word salad that this attorney did, well, attorney, let's see what your contract says, and we're going to look at that real quick, and guess what? Look at this, everybody. Yeah, he has to be part of it. Why is Margolis's his contract with the city not the same as Jennifer.Poirrier's? You know, you can look at these two and notice that there's significant differences, right? So we're about to get to the end of this, and I'm going to talk about what the property appraiser told me. So yeah, you know, I make a phone call on Monday. I'm going to put up a screenshot up here so you understand what's happening. But I called the property appraiser, and I could actually see these three properties up here, right? And so
You guys smell it? You guys smell it? I smell poop. I smell shit. She's got 3 properties.
I give him a call. I'm like, hey, I've got some questions about this stuff. And I'm like, who are the people that are homesteading these homes? I'm like, is it just Jennifer.Poirrier and her husband? Or is it Christopher Losky? Is it her daughter? Like, what's going on? And so they go through this whole thing and say, hey, the Cleveland Street is being homesteaded by Kaylee Valdez. And if you don't know, Kaylee Valdez is a 20-year-old woman that works as a police aide for the city of Clearwater. And she has, I believe it's a $380,000 condo that she works part-time with. Because here's her pay stubs, just so that you know I'm not lying. She works part-time. You think that a 20-year-old can afford this condo on her own? More than likely not. All right, now we're going to move on to Christopher Losky, or Losky, or whatever. His picture's all up here. This is where they resided at, or Jennifer.Poirrier and Christopher Losky own property, right? You see that up there, right? Cool. Well, he's the one that's homesteading that property. And then we get on to Adam.Poirrier, and then you can see that property right there. This is the one property that actually has Adam and Jennifer homesteading a property. So we know she is not homesteaded in Clearwater at this point. So I after the phone call, after all this was said, well, one of my whistleblowers gave me a phone call, and you probably heard it right there at the last clip, and you can see, because yeah, I get a phone call, and then all this other information starts coming out. And as you can see, these are properties that I was able to witness 5 days ago. You can see the timestamp, and then you can see, without doxing her, these are the properties.
So he goes out of his way to actually not dox her, not that it's against the law, not that... Is this the record violation this year? He went onto the property appraiser site and he abused the property appraiser platform. Is that what's going on, or was it public records requests that were his alleged violation? I say that he went out of his way to not dox this woman when he could have easily doxed her, right? Nothing on here is private. This is all public information. This is all available on the property appraiser's website. Obviously, there's the parcel numbers and the addresses, which she could have, if she wanted to, she could have that information redacted from the property appraiser's site. She would have to go through the step of getting that done. It's not up to Solo. It's not up to Michael to take this information down. It's public information. You work for the public on behalf of the public. Try serving the public.
So then my whistleblower called me. It was like, hey, all the properties disappeared. They magically disappeared. I'm like, no way. There's no possible way this could have happened, right? You would think. But guess what? Sure as shit. And here's all the screenshots of all the properties that I could see at one point, but now they're all mysteriously disappearing. Why? If you live in Clearwater and you are abiding by all the things that you're saying, why is this happening? Why are you doing a cleanup job? You know, this doesn't make any sense. So, what?
It makes sense. She got caught with her pants down, basically. It's not up to Soliaker to reach out to the property appraiser and say, Jennifer.Poirrier is now a public servant and needs to have her information redacted from public view. It's not against the law for him to post it. It's not against the law for him to do anything with it. You guys failed to take the appropriate steps to protect your information. And now you're trying to charge him with a crime for one, pointing that out. And two, more importantly, it looks like there's some significant alleged fraud going on with the property appraisers. What's going on with this tax-exempt status, this homesteading status?
What I would suggest is leave your comment down below and tell me what you think. Because
And realistically, if we're being honest, she should really only be able to have her name removed from that one, since that's the only one that she has, that she's claiming that she has an interest in, right? She's claiming that she has an interest in this one homesteaded property. Well, what do the other two properties have to do with anything? Are they yours or are they not? I mean, your name's on the title, so what? Those get protected too, and you get homesteaded. You get to homestead it. I don't know. Seems pretty crooked to me.
Because I think there's some shenanigans going on in Clearwater, and all I can do is show you the facts. These are all facts.
Oh, what do you mean colluding to take away his? I mean, I can't imagine. That that he is allowed to hold on to his weapons. They have to have taken his weapons from him. So they took. I could be wrong, but once again, without due process, they likely took his weapons because he's out on release. He's on a freaking tether or GPS monitoring, and he is being accused of stalking, right? So I have to imagine that the police came in and made sure that he disarmed himself.
And,
because they care so much about their oath.
And I don't know what's going on. But don't forget, hit that like, share, and that subscribe button, all that good stuff. And trust me, Clearwater, we'll see you on July 15th. What's going on with these Celiac?
All right. I got to dig into this a little more. I was watching, he put this video out, the James Madison video.
Right up here, if you want to look at it, you're more than welcome.
So he said that, and I was like, well, wait, what the hell's going on here? I want to look at it. But I've got to do a little more digging because I want to make sure that I'm understanding everything that's going on. But on the surface, what is going on seems to be a pretty outrageous violation of rights. Her favorite part of the job is interacting and developing relationships with community and all of its stakeholders. All of the stakeholders. I'm continually motivated by how passionate and dedicated our community and staff are. So if a member of the community is passionate about correcting issues, bringing up problems, you're a liar. You're not continually motivated. This person is obviously passionate and dedicated to serving the community. He's obviously passionate about that. But you're not motivated by that. You're I need to correct myself. You are motivated, but it's not a motivation to see something positive done. It's a motivation to violate your oath, to protect his rights. You swore an oath to protect his right to look into you. I know it's uncomfortable, Miss Poirier. I know it's uncomfortable when people are looking into you, but you literally swore an oath to protect that. So, Howard, has he been talking about this? I didn't know. So, let me see if I can get her email back up here. Give this wretched person an email and ask her what's she doing? What's going on? Let's read through some more of this, though. Insightful stuff. One piece of advice to people interested in a career in public service. It would be to follow your passion. It is essential to have a genuine passion for serving a community and a commitment to making a positive impact. Following passion, develop strong communication, leadership, and problem-solving skills will serve you well, as will getting involved. I would say that Soliaker's getting involved. Wouldn't you say so? And instead of developing some strong communication and leadership, you've decided that no, it's best to just silence him. We want to have strong communication. We want to develop strong communication in order to not use it in a productive manner, in order to not use it at all. We'll just get some stalking and violations of the public records law. Okay, cool story. All right, I'm starting to ramble. But there's her email. Send her an email. Let her know how dissatisfied you guys are with her service. And, yeah. If somebody's in contact with Solo, tell him to give me a call if he can talk about this. All right, everybody. I'm going to sign off. This is a public service.